Hi there, welcome to I Alone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Libra energy, and for these 12 zodiac sign readings that I'm doing this round, I'm using the Kipper deck. Give a little different flavor to the reading, and we'll get some clarifiers on it to fill out the story. And since it's not a personal reading, I'm going to show you how people could be using this energy in a high vibe Libra manner or a low vibe Libra manner. We all tap into Libra energy. It's about trying to use our social skills to maintain balance and harmony in relationships, kind of our people-pleasing skills. And we can either use those skills and traits to have true justice in a relationship because we're coming from a foundation of love within ourselves and wanting to move the relationship forward in love. And other people might think it's just and fair to protect themselves emotionally so they don't really come from a foundation of self-love and moving a relationship forward in love, but they might create the illusion they're doing that. But they might not like to be emotionally vulnerable. They might live more from their mind and their heart. And they might be trying to move a relationship forward because of fear, insecurity, selfishness, greed, codependency. You know, if they haven't done the work to build an emotional foundation within themselves, to be open to love and be emotionally vulnerable, they're creating illusions in relationships because of fear or insecurity. So, okay, the reason for the reading is the courthouse, which I kind of look at the courthouse card as it could be debating what to do. You know, we're kind of taking it to the courthouse in our mind to decide, debating what is sudden wealth, and they're debating this within the privacy of their own home, in their own mind. Well, then we have the death card and the main female. Because some people right now are debating being in a relationship for the reasons of money and materialism, in their own shadowy Scorpio energy of thinking that life is just about death, sex, taxes, that is kind of going to be their emotional foundation that they operate from. And they're going to put an end to their own main female. And the female in the tarot deck represents our hidden realm. They're going to kind of put an end to their own hidden realm, which is like their divine realm. You know, if we balance ourselves out, this is like our fears, our insecurities, our worldly nature. If we balance it out with self-love and compassion and self-respect and self-love, to believe we can manifest our dreams into reality and that we deserve to being in loving and kind, respectful relationships, if our selfishness, our greed, our fear, insecurity doesn't overwhelm that, and we can tap into our more positive self, we can come together in balance, and that's when we create miracles. But sadly, some people's worldly nature of greed, selfishness, fear, insecurity overwhelms them. And privately, in the privacy of their own mind, they decide to put an end to being connected in with themselves, their true emotional self. And when they decide to do that internally, anybody outside of them that they had a potential to have a relationship, if they had come from that aspect of self, is also ended. So, people are debating this right now. Okay, well, let's go see what we got up here. So this is the reason for this message coming out, and it also has something to do with the end of the reading. So we have someone who presents themselves as the official person. When the masculine energies come out in tarot, it talks about people presenting themselves a certain way, but we really don't know what's going on behind them. You know, what their emotional state is. They can present themselves as like, oh no, I'm my authentic self, but really they could be just presenting a facade. You know, you're either living your life authentically, being open, honest, transparent, loving, or you're presenting an illusion and you're living an illusion. So we have the official person a mature person in a relationship, maybe to exchange resources. Hmm. Another way of looking at this is they could be debating tapping into their true abundance and having sudden wealth, that I am going to tap into my mature emotional self. I don't know. It's kind of interesting that we have two men here, so two people taking action. Here we have. No. Let's go see. Let's go get some clarifiers. Hopefully, the official person in someone's life, the way they normally present themselves, has matured and they've decided to connect in with themselves. But it looks like other people definitely might be getting into a relationship because they want someone to give them money. Hmm. Hmm. I'm just thinking, abundance comes in many forms. Some people could decide, I want to get into a relationship where people exchange resources with me. And if that person values love and affection, that could be what they consider sudden wealth. And even though there might be someone else that they would like to be in a relationship with, they would put an end to being in a relationship with that person or considering being in a relationship. It just depends on what people consider true abundance. We might have to do clarifiers on the underlying cards. I don't know. This is interesting. Oh, and if I didn't say it already, we all tap into Libra energy. You could know someone who's born under a Libra sun sign, that's their sun zodiac sign, and they could be the one in kind of shadowy energy, and you could be the one who harnesses positive, high vibe Libra energy. We all tap into either high vibe or low vibe Libra energy. You don't have to be a Libra sun sign. Just depends. Are you someone who presents yourself as someone who's loving and kind and acting with character and integrity, but behind the scenes you're really kind of more emotionally shallow and think life's just about death, sex, taxes? And if an opportunity comes around where you could get in a relationship where someone would give you the worldly things that you really desire, a certain image, a certain status, or luxuries in life, would you all of a sudden no longer be the loyal, committed person you thought you said you were going to be? You know, kind of when push comes down to shove, the universe wants people to reveal their authentic self. Okay. So, again, the reason for the reading, they were debating sudden wealth in the privacy of their own mind. Maybe because someone they knew had experienced a death in their family or something, and maybe that person had come into sudden wealth. Maybe that person made them an emotional offer, and this person was kind of like, I don't know, should I offer that person love? Would that put an end to my stress and anxiety? Sometimes people think if they have all the worldly things that they want, they mistakenly believe it will put an end to their stress and anxiety. It might put an end to stress and anxiety about materialistic things. But, you know, that just opens up maybe another can of worms if you. Oh, and here, yeah, we have someone could have experienced a painful ending and they could be really stressed. So, if this person was deciding, should I make an offer to this person who experienced a painful ending, who's now really stressed, who seems like they would be willing to move forward with them, maybe had communicated to them? I don't know. In order to move forward in a positive way, they would say, I'm going to put an end to that idea, because we go from 10 of swords to 9 of swords. They let go of an ace of swords, an idea, a thought. And it's like, no, I'm going to put an end to that thought because it causes me to be up in my head and causes me stress and anxiety. I'm going to keep listening to my intuition and listen to my heart and my wishes and my dreams. And I'm not going to make an offer maybe to repeat some patterns of the past or reunite with someone from my past because that person has experienced some type of ending in their life and have come up, maybe have come into a lot of wealth. You know, that would kind of be maybe presenting themselves as a facade, like, look at me, look at what I wear, and look at all my badges of honor and my worldliness and image and status. So some people might have decided to do that, though, thinking if they were in denial of the truth. Some people move forward, some people made an offer to the past. And if you had been in a relationship with this person who seemed to be in two minds about moving forward from a foundation of love, because they really live more from their mind than their heart, and they're really stressed and anxious about coming from that pure innocent nature of love, the person you were in a relationship with could have decided to backstab and betray you, because logically to them it makes more sense and it's more comfortable for them to be in a relationship based on money and materialism, and life's just about death, sex, taxes, because then they don't have to be emotionally authentic. So they'd basically be repeating some patterns of the past. And if you were in a relationship with someone who decided that, you feel like they backstabbed and betrayed you. And as you listen to your intuition and move forward in love from a foundation of self-love, having hope and faith and belief that the divine has a plan for your life, regardless of the fact that somebody backstabbed and betrayed you. It's kind of like I'm giving a lot of thought to wish you peace because I'm moving forward in love. Tell us about the mature person here taking action in the world. You know, you might have truly been your official, authentic self. Unbeknownst to some of you, you were in a relationship with someone who was more about presenting an image and a status, and they maybe weren't really being their authentic self, because that causes them stress and anxiety. So let's see, we had a card flip here. Okay. Ooh. So the people who weren't ready to move forward yet, in order to move forward and have hope and faith and trust and belief, they would have had to mature. They would have, in positive Capricorn energy, needed to take the creative, inspired, bold, confident action of a King of Wands Aries energy to free themselves from their fear, their insecurity, their selfishness, their greed, their false persona, their stress, their anxiety. But sadly, some people didn't do that, and so they kind of listened to the devil whispering on their shoulder, saying to be authentically ourselves, to come from a foundation of love and listen to our intuition, causes a lot of stress and anxiety. Let's not do that. Let's just live from our shadow nature, and, you know, we'll just take sexual action towards someone who is maybe offering us the worldly things in life. Some of them might have had a Capricorn that they were going to take action towards. Maybe that person had the worldly things that this person, in their wand energy, it's their wants, their lusts, their wishes, their dreams, their motivation. So some of them could have taken sexual action towards a Capricorn, or they took action towards someone who had those things that they covet and value in a worldly nature. And sometimes that's, I don't want to be in a relationship even with people who are intuitive and loving, because it causes them stress and anxiety, because they know being in relationships with people like that are going to want them to be loving and open and honest, and that causes them a lot of stress and anxiety, and they'd prefer to almost be in a relationship with someone who's maybe not so loving, someone who can be a little selfish or greedy or manipulative or deceptive, because that's how they are. If they don't come from a foundation of love, they create illusion in a relationship, which is like our shadow nature, creating illusion. We're either from love or we're from illusion. And maybe there was someone in their life they could take action towards to go get in a relationship with that also happened to have sudden wealth. And they're like, yeah, I'll go get in a relationship with them and I'll keep living a life of illusion. And I'll present myself as someone who was trying to move forward in a relationship, but they were backstabbed and betrayed and they were stressed and anxious. So that's why they went and offered their emotions to someone else. But really, the whole reason why the relationship probably ended is because this person, because they were in two minds about coming from love, emotionally invested in kind of mentally betraying and backstabbing the person they were in a relationship with and causing that person a lot of stress and anxiety because they don't want the person they're with to put in the work and effort to take bold, confident action to mature. I want you to stay in a relationship with me just like this. But if push comes to shove and you are determined to emotionally mature and grow and not be codependent, not be in fear and insecurity, and enable my poor behavior, well, then I got to end things because my image and my status is the most important thing. But they probably create illusion around all of it to get people confused about, gee, I thought it was moving forward in love, but then it was backstabbed and betrayed. And, you know, and again, the whole reason this person could have done it was because they're kind of immature. They live more from their mind than their heart. They haven't built up that emotional foundation within themselves of self-respect, self-love, self-compassion to feel that they can weather emotional storms, so they don't choose to do an emotional track in relationships. It's more of presenting a facade for image and status, but living more from the mind and the heart, staying in stress and anxiety. And if you never put in the work and effort to offer love to yourself to get over your own stress and fear and insecurity, I guess they're hoping to stay in denial that they should offer love to those things. And they hope that the person they're in a relationship will just keep offering them love and enable their fear, their insecurity, their selfishness, their greed, all about themselves and their fear of love, because they're like a child who hasn't learned how to mature themselves. They weren't willing to put in the hard work to be creative and inspired to mature themselves and free themselves from their fears and insecurities. Their codependency on other people to mother them in a way. So, and then on top of all that, magically, it's kind of like the universe knows these things. So then magically, maybe someone appears who seems to offer them everything they want. It's like, are you going to do that? Or are you going to put in the work and effort? Who are you? What do you value? What do you believe in? And sadly, some of these people said, yeah, I'm not going to put in the work and effort. I'm going to go get in a relationship that's codependent, that's based on fear, based on insecurity, creating illusion for money and materialism and status and image, and keep living the facade of a life I always have lived. And if this person has money as the final kicker, it's like, yep, I'm going to go take sexual action towards them. So some of those people, some of them could be thinking about this. They're in two minds about, right now they're debating it. What is true abundance? Is it money, materialism, status, image, pride, ego, or is it self-love? Do we stay in denial of the truth? Or do we start to tap into our emotions and our intuition, our dreams, our creativity, and put an end to our stress and anxiety about coming from a place of love within ourselves and for ourselves, so that we can put in the work and effort to truly build a legacy for our life? Because we can either be in shadowy Capricorn energy, where it's just about building a legacy, status, image, or we build a legacy because we've freed ourselves and we've shown other people in Aries energy, King of Wands, how to be a true leader, I've put in the creative, inspired hard work and effort to mature myself to my fullest potential, to free myself from my fear, my insecurities, my self centeredness, my selfishness, my greed, not to be enslaved by the world, but to live my life based on the hidden realm, the divine realm. And the divine realm is about emotions, intuition, creativity, inspiration. But it takes hard work. Okay, tell us about the courtship card. This person, depending on how caught up they are in their own illusions, could be in denial that people in their life were offering them love, but they backstabbed and betrayed those people out of living so much up in their mind, their stress, their anxiety, their fear, their insecurities, that they put an end to reciprocating that love. And they could be so far in shadow and denial. Two of Swords could be about denial. They don't see the truth of it. That other people were actually being authentic and offering love. And those people were willing to put in the work and effort to take creative, inspired action to move forward. But sometimes I think people who are so fearful of love, why would they be fearful of that? And being authentically themselves, because either they've never really been authentic and they've always kind of worn a mask and presented an illusion to the world, or they've been hurt and betrayed in the past, and so they don't want to be emotionally vulnerable. But people who know that they're not being honest and authentic and coming from a foundation of love, they're very afraid of other people. They're living from fear. They're very afraid of people backstabbing them, but they are living a lie. So they kind of think other people are living a lie. And so they don't want to come from love because they fear other people will backstab and betray them, and that they'll be really stressed about the fact that they offered love. How about if you're authentic and honest and loving, if people reject that, that's on them. It's nothing that should cause you stress and anxiety. I mean, it's like, wow, I thought you were a person I could invest in, but I guess not. That's why I have these mirrors here, because some people who are fearful and insecure and all that, when they look out at the world, they think that everyone is living life just like them. But there's people in the world who come from a foundation of love, and those people are in the relationship, and they think everybody's like them. That people are loving and honest and authentic and, not coming from fear and insecurity necessarily in the relationship. So you end up finding out that you operate from two different foundations. They probably think you were toxic for the bold, confident action you took to move forward in your life. How dare you? Even though they could have been toxic, controlling, selfish, greedy, forceful, codependent, angry, fearful, insecure, but yet they think you're the toxic person for taking bold, confident action to move forward in your life. If, it's kind of like they don't want to tarnish their image by being the one to end the relationship, but they're not willing to do the work. But then when they're toxic and controlling and selfish and greedy, then they blame you because you ended the relationship. It's like, well, sorry. I want to be with people who are dedicated and committed and who put in the work and effort to take bold, confident action to mature a relationship, not to stay toxic and selfish and immature, demanding and controlling, and it's all about them like they're an 8-year-old in a relationship, and you're to mother or father them, and indulge them. Okay, tell us about this courtship card. And for some of you, maybe it didn't have anything to do with any of that. I do think they thought there was going to be some sudden wealth if they took action towards someone else. However, maybe it was just money and materialism. Maybe up until that point, for some of you, it seemed like they were listening to their intuition. Maybe they did seem to be coming from love, and all of a sudden, boom, mental decision, all from the mind. I'm putting an end to this to go get in a relationship for, this person can offer me sex, drugs, rock and roll. This person, I don't know. I'm lustful towards them. They'll indulge me. They'll let me, whatever they wanted to do. Maybe for some of them, it was just simple lust. It's like, oh, no, yeah. I guess when it all comes down to it, but there is that sudden wealth. So I definitely say, and Capricorn is about financial stability. So I definitely think a big pull here is financial stability. So they decided, they thought the mature, maybe Libra decision to make and take action on was for them to take sexual action towards worldliness, image, status, wealth, or this person who offered them these things. And they turned their back on a courtship, maybe with a Sagittarius and a Gemini, but they turned their back on being more emotionally connected in with themselves. And in Gemini energy, it's like their divine nature of balancing out their strong fiery wand energy, my passion, my lust, my greed, my selfishness, my image, my status. Both Aries, King of Wands, and Sagittarius are fire energy. It's fire, strong emotions, passions that get us up off the couch to do things. And this person turned their back on working together within themselves to be more emotionally connected so that who they presented themselves in the world as, male or female, was aligned with who they truly were emotionally inside. Because people always present themselves as, oh no, I'm very emotionally balanced and moderate and I'm manifesting my dreams into reality. But some people, that's not true, because what they're aligned with is Capricorn shadowy energy. They're aligned with selfishness, greed, self-indulgence, me, greed, lust, all about me, codependency, image, status. They did not balance out their emotions. They did not offset their fiery, worldly nature with justice, fairness, honesty, character, integrity. Instead, they chose, I'll get in a relationship. I'll just try to balance out my emotions about the reason that I'm in it, that I'm creating an illusion. I'm manipulating this person to get what I want. And apparently what they want them to do is to exchange resources with them. Either the sex, the drugs, the rock and roll, the image, the status, the money, whatever it is that they want from them is what they're going for. And they're going to create illusion around the whole thing. And they just figure, I'll just balance out my emotions about the fact that I'm doing that. To get what I want, I will do this. Tell us about this unexpected income. The only thing is, what could have happened is, or will happen, just depends on where you're at in the story, is that the Six of Pentacles, this kind of reminds me of the Six of Pentacles, and it's a 9, which is kind of the end of a cycle. They were really thinking if they got in this relationship, this person who maybe seems to be a wealthy person, has sudden wealth, would give them some money. But unexpectedly, this talks about exchanging foundations in a way. Maybe the person they went and got in a relationship with, who, as a Page of Cups, so maybe a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces energy, presents himself as loving, and maybe they are loving, I don't know. But that person emotionally paused to consider what they were going to invest in. They might have wondered if they were going to invest, maybe, kind of like you could say the Page of Wands is a child of the King of Wands in a way. They could be stressed about making this person an emotional offer. Maybe the person they went and got in a relationship with kind of found them to maybe be immature. And they kind of debated within themselves if this would be a very abundant relationship. And maybe the King of Cups that they went to go get in a relationship with, that had these worldly things that they wanted, decided to end the relationship with them emotionally. So now this person could be in two minds about what to do next, or who to offer love to, or, they want to keep offering their emotion to this person from their past, which is basically meaning they want to keep repeating patterns of their past and they don't want to do the work to gain insight and wisdom. They want to take action towards this person. They want to balance things out in this relationship because they feel they can manifest their dreams into reality. It is possible that the person they went to go get in a relationship with, though, decided to instead exchange resources with someone else who communicated that they wanted to invest in them. Possibly. So now this person who got in a relationship with this person doesn't know, should I move forward? Should I try to go get in a different relationship? If they're in shadowy energy, they're still going to get in relationships for poor reasons. They're just going to create the illusion to get people to exchange resources with them. If that's money, hugs, and kisses, they'll present themselves as a King of Cups in order to get those people to invest in them. And then this person will take immature action, because if you don't come from a foundation of self-love within yourself and haven't done the hard work and effort to mature yourself to take emotionally bold, confident action, you're immature. And they'll take immature action with these people who they want to have get in a relationship with them, so that those people will debate within themselves, I don't know, is this abundant? And if some people are willing to sell themselves out to be in a relationship for image or status or greed or selfishness because of their own fears and insecurities, then those people will put an end to their own true emotional nature and decide, I will go for this relationship that seems to have worldly abundance, out of my own fears, insecurities, or codependencies, or wanting to win. Maybe a Capricorn energy could be, devil energy could be like pride and ego. I want to be in the relationship because of pride and ego. So this person, if they stay in shadowy energy, they're going to try to balance out their fear. They think the lie of the devil, if they keep taking creative action based on their fears and insecurities, they're always having to try to balance out their emotions, that they're creating illusion in relationships. They present themselves as loving for people to exchange and give them the things they need. And if the things they need is, I don't want to be single because I don't have an emotional foundation to operate from, I'm very codependent, I need a relationship just for worldly purposes to make me look like I have a certain status or a certain image, or I'm fearful and afraid and I need to be in a relationship for that, or I want to take have sex with people. So I want to create an illusion I'm in a relationship and I'm willing to come from love, but really I just want those people to exchange resources with me because I want sex, or I want to feel loved because I don't know how to love myself. Regardless of what those shadowy type people might be doing, is positive people in Libra energy are debating true abundance, and they're listening to their intuition, and in their Pisces emotional dreamy aspect they're moving forward in their life to put an end to any stress and anxiety they might have about the past, and they're wishing the past peace. They're maturing, putting in the hard work and effort to be bold and confident, to start a new cycle in their life, let old cycles close, old ways of being, old relationships that were either backstabbing and betraying, or with people who are filled with stress and anxiety, people who are toxic, selfish, greedy, and two minds about the truth. And the positive people on their own or with whatever partners they're working with at jobs or relationships that are all willing to mature and put in the work and effort, those people are aligning within themselves. If they're not already in a partnership, they might want to be in a partnership with someone who harnesses Sagittarius energy, who's creative, inspired, looks at life as an adventure to be lived, but they educate themselves about philosophies and belief systems in order to maintain their emotional balance so they don't get caught up in fear and insecurity. And hopefully, if someone is going to take action towards someone like that, it's because they've done it within themselves. And when they get balance within their own emotions, so they can authentically present themselves to the world, because they now have confidence that they do have all the resources, because they've put in the hard work creatively to mature themselves emotionally and get balanced and aligned within themselves, then they can exchange resources from maybe before they had been someone who is more of a Seven of Pentacles person, someone who's like in their Virgo nature, no, Taurus nature. Let's see. Shoot, I can't remember if it's two. Yeah, I think it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In their Taurus nature, they could have been very, our Taurus nature is about our philosophy of life, how we perceive ourselves in the world. And they could have been someone before who was very, you or them, the people who are coming out of this, if they've repeated this cycle enough and they want to stop it, in order for them to stop it, they have to take action from their heart and intuition towards their own philosophy of life. Because they before could have been someone who thought, don't we just work with what the world gives us? Isn't that all there is? Well, what about your emotions? What about your creativity? What about your inspiration? What about your dreams? What about love? Do we come here on a soul journey, being the emotionally complex human beings that we are, just to work with what the world gives us and try to build up success and money and materialism? We're emotionally complex human beings for a reason. We're supposed to. You could look at the six, this reminds me of the Six of Pentacles, where we work from our emotional foundation and we also work with our worldly foundation. And between the two, then we can send a message of good news in the Page of Wands to the court system saying, we have found sudden wealth within us. Within the privacy of ourself, we have found balance between our heart, our invisible realm, and our worldly realm. And we are shedding the old to give birth to the new, because the coffin card kind of reminds me of Scorpio energy, which is about shedding the old to give birth to a new. And they will now, instead of being like presenting themselves as like this official person, they're actually, which who knows, again, what that is. We never really know what's behind there. It looks like it was a lot of stress and anxiety. They're actually going to take action in the world to come from their emotional foundation because they have matured themselves. So the people who have matured themselves emotionally are shedding the old to give birth to the new because they realize that love is a free will choice that we make every day. Do we choose to treat ourselves with love and respect and kindness so that, if no one else outside in the world does, we choose to do that to ourselves every day? To treat ourselves with compassion and forgiveness. We're fallible human beings that are continually learning how to walk in this world, with other people that have their fears and insecurities and their selfishness and greed. We're like little children perpetually trying to learn how to walk in this world. And if we don't treat ourselves with encouragement and support and kindness and forgiveness and compassion, but if we're always trying to move forward from self-respect and self-love, we're going to be okay and we can manifest our dreams into reality. Sadly, some people maybe aren't as emotionally connected in with themselves. They end up living more from their mind than their heart. They think all they have to work with is the 3D world, and it causes them a lot of stress and anxiety. Maybe makes them feel that, do they have the image? Do they have the status? Do they have the reputation? Do they have the same amount of money as other people? And they think that is the goalpost. And, you're either coming from love or you're living in illusion. And sadly, some people are still maybe in their Pisces illusion, thinking it's about them presenting themselves as an official person in the world because they are in denial of the truth that in their Pisces illusion, they just keep backstabbing and betraying themselves, causing themselves a lot of stress and anxiety because they're unwilling to see the truth, that it's about coming from that pure, innocent, hopeful, believing nature of love, which is how we've all grown and thrived in our life, is from being surrounded by people who are loving and kind and supportive. But if this person hasn't learned how to do that for themselves, they're very immature, and they didn't realize they were supposed to take over that job from their parents or whoever their life was, that eventually it comes to the point where you realize, I am worth more than presenting a facade to the world. My life is worth more than having you people approve of me. My life is worth following my wishes and my dreams and my passions. And until this person finds it so sickening, they're going to stay in that kind of relationship. They'll just balance out their emotions. They will present themselves as loving. See, a lot of masculine energies here, which is people taking action in the world without really revealing who they are, male or female. They're presenting themselves as not showing us what's in their hidden realm. Maybe because they don't function from their hidden realm. Maybe 5 of their pentacles is earthliness and only 2 pentacles are from love, and that one they're still juggling and not really investing. If they're in, well, I guess we won't look at it that way. Let's get out of that. But they're going to present themselves to people who are looking, they're going to present themselves as loving to people who want to invest in someone. And they will exchange resources with those people. And this person, in their selfishness, their greed, their codependency, their self-centeredness, will enjoy the sudden wealth of abundance of a love relationship. But secretly, in the privacy of their own mind, if these people want them to emotionally mature and connect in with their emotions and come from a foundation of love, they'll probably end it. Because if they're living from their shadow nature, life's just about death, sex, taxes. And if this person right now is kind of debating, am I going to do round 2 or 5 or 25 of the same way of being? If they do decide to be in a relationship more to indulge themselves, it's all about them, they're the center of attention. Little do people know it when they get in a relationship with them that that's what they think. Because they're not coming from a foundation of love and self-love. It is not going to be a balanced relationship. You are going to give, 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 give. Like I said, initially this person will present themselves as loving to get you to invest in them, but it's all a facade. So if any of them had the potential right now to be with a main female who, or well, a main person who is emotionally mature, male or female, they're deciding to put, if they choose to live, continue to live from their shadow nature, to indulge themselves, it's all about them. Money, materialism, status, image is more important. They're going to end any possibility of a love connection with people who are emotionally mature. They're going to try to maybe get someone new to invest in them, someone who's looking to invest in someone. And they'll communicate to them, oh, I'd be willing to exchange resources with you, hugs, kisses, money, whatever. And I'll indulge myself in this for as long as it lasts or until you want me to grow or mature. And then they'll get out of it. So if any of you are dealing with somebody like this, let's see. Other people are on the same path as you. They've had the same life experience. Some of those people might want to communicate with you. Your only thing will be you have to find out if the person approaching you is someone you actually want to invest in. And in the courthouse card, you will have to debate within your mind as you move forward in a relationship with someone. Is this abundant? Or are they hiding that they come from basically death energy? That they don't want you to be, are they emotionally brave and confident? Are they emotionally connected in with themselves? Are they truly someone who is self-loving, compassionate, forgiving, and supportive of themselves? Or do they use their emotions in relationships to emotionally manipulate people to indulge themselves? So, that's the whole thing of free will and discernment and trusting your intuition. Some people might even decide, you know what? Because they're in denial of the truth, they might want to make an offer to someone they backstabbed and betrayed because they're really stressed about, I don't know, someone else who repeated past patterns of the past, who isn't in a relationship with them anymore. Maybe that person had sudden abundance, and this person is thinking that they can come have sexual action towards you because they're lustful towards you, and they think they can manipulate you if they offer to exchange resources with you. And some of you might say, no, I already know you, and I know you're immature, and I've already kind of taken this to court. Or we broke up before and it went to court, and you ended things with me in order to go towards another love choice. So, there is no part to people getting kicked out of the story of love. They have to go write a new story, maybe with someone else, and see if they get it right that time. But if people rejected love and putting in the work and effort with other people who were willing to put in the work and effort, who were trying to balance out their emotions and kept coming from love, even though this person just wasn't sure if they wanted to invest. And then eventually they decided, you know what? I think I'm just going to take some immature action and end this relationship so I can go get in another love relationship that might give me the things I want or make me the center of attention, or that I just want to go have sex with. It's like, oh yeah, no, the story of creating heaven on earth with you's over. You chose to be the devil. So I wish you luck on the next story you write with someone. Maybe that time you won't betray the people who are offering you love. Maybe. I don't know. But otherwise, anyway, you might have someone coming towards you. Maybe if that's over and done, maybe there'll be someone else if you don't already have a partner in your life. And you just have to debate, is this truly abundance? Or is this someone who is willing to shed the old to move forward and be emotionally mature, knowing that to be loving is a free will choice? I did a random flip of the quote calendar, and you got, if you want something you never had, you have to do something you've never done. Oh, and October 11th is the date, so 10 and 11. 10 can be about the end of a cycle completing, and 11 would be about being aligned within yourself and being in relationships with other people who are aligned with themselves. You know, it's like the two sides are aligned and there's no longer being tipped out of balance. So there you go, Libra energies. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.